Welcome to a Mouthpiece special. We are straight after BOXXER 7. I'm joined by Will Perry, Zak Chelli, it rhymes, and Pauli Malignaggi. Zak, 2 fights on a night. You seem to breeze them both. What do you make of the night?
Well, I was really happy to get 2 wins, especially after my last controversial fight. 2 wins. I did say my 4 a.m. runs are harder, and they are harder. I sweat a lot more, and my heart races a lot more, but yeah, it is what it is.
You said you wanted those 2 KOs, and we were watching you, weren't we, Dan? We were up on the mezzanine. Last 30 seconds of that first fight, you were going for it, weren't you? You could smell it.
Yeah, I was trying to go for it, but from my amateur experience from GB finals, once I had to fight twice in the same day, and I noticed it's better to not give it all the first one and go for it for the second one. So yeah, that's what I did.
Paulie, he's not going to blow his own trumpet. I mean, this guy's
that was him saving his energy in the first fight. Man, because I was actually
22.
Yeah,
22.
But you know what's funny? I was saying in the first fight when you were doing, I was like, I don't know if he's making it harder on himself by trying so hard for the KO, and then he doesn't get it, and he's gonna burn himself out. But now he's sitting here telling me he didn't even go hard in the first fight. He's saving his energy. If that's what's saving your energy, I'd hate to see what you go full throttle is.
Yeah, I'm used to doing 10-round fights, so. And at home, I was actually training harder for a 10-round fight. My dad was making me train like 20 rounds on a heavy bag, non-stop punching. Mm-hmm. So I was ready for that.
Would have been a decent 10-round fight, that Giga fight, wouldn't
it?
Giga wasn't gonna last much longer.
Give me another 2 rounds or 1 round.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Which fight did you find more difficult in terms of style-wise?
The first fight, he just made it more difficult to catch more clean. But the second guy, I believe, was a lot stronger and a lot tougher. But I was a bit more calm for that one, and it just came naturally to knockout.
Also, when a guy comes to win, it's easier to find them. Giga I don't think came to win. I think he realized right away once he saw the couple first punches you threw, he's like, all right, this is not going to be my night. So he kind of started trying to survive. But McGoldrick, we saw from the first fight, he came to win, so got it to the finals. Now you're not going to show up to survive the final. You're going to come to win. So
it's all well and good.
It's easier to find, but it's easier to find you. When you come to win, it's easier to find you.
But I saw this guy, and you've been in the hotel with him and in the bubble. But I saw you for the first time in the flesh tonight, and you walked in here with a smile. You walked in here with a swagger, and there's a calmness about you even now. There's something, isn't there, which I find unbelievable for 22. Did you have that at 22?
I think you have that youthful enthusiasm that I call it when you're 22. You feel like you can conquer the world. You feel like when you put the work in the gym, that nothing can stop you. Because you put in all the work in and you have this fire inside you that you want to build a name for yourself. I think that it's part of being 22 years old, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's gonna be what drives you. That kind of passion is gonna be what drives you. So yeah, I see that in him, but I think different youngsters have it at different levels. I think he has a lot of it. So you can tell he clearly loves what he's doing.
It's weird when I saw Gergiev in the hotel. There was something about his demeanor at the weigh-in when he kind of just first found out that he was going to be fighting. That said that he had a look in his eye that said, "This is what he's been waiting for, almost banking on." And I thought to myself, "Oh, is there an upset?" It just seemed. You hear these stories, of boxers that have been given last-minute opportunities, but because they were ready, they've just kind of exploded onto the scene. Even Terence Crawford done it. Do you know what I'm saying? He wasn't supposed to break through the way he did.
Well, you said to me on air, you said anyone called Vladimir, you got to be careful.
If
he wasn't a boxer, he could be in Taken 5, couldn't he, with Liam Neeson or something?
Literally on the day, I didn't even know I was fighting him. I came downstairs for the weigh, and he told me, by the way, Zak, your post-COVID test, come downstairs. I was like, oh goodness, I'm 200 grams over. Did a quick skip for 10 minutes. Came downstairs, and I was like, oh, where's Ben? And I just see this Bulgarian guy coming towards me, all happy, like he's fighting. And I was like, oh, then I went upstairs, did my research, and I saw that he likes to attack. He likes to always come forward and always have the centre. Give him a jab, first round, he stayed away. So I was like, okay.
What do you do in terms? That's interesting. In terms of research, then how much? Because I know your dad obviously is big in pushing your corner, former pro boxer as well. But what do you do? I know when you were going to fight Ben Ridings, you basically said, "Look, mate, I've watched the YouTube stuff and I was laughing at it."
Yeah, I watched him on YouTube. He was struggling
with
a journeyman.
You're a real student in that sense. You'll go back and spend hours on YouTube. Yeah?
If I see someone struggling with a journeyman who they're meant to be easily and losing rounds with them, I'm thinking, okay, they're not my level. I've trained a lot hard. I stopped journeyman, so they're the same level as journeyman.
How much of a look do you have though? Is it 5 minutes and you're like, I'm done here?
Literally, I watched the first round, I watched the last round, I'm like, yeah, that's it. I don't need to watch no more.
Wow. I mean, look, this is huge for you in the sense that, obviously BOXXER are now going to be your promoters and they're going to sign you up, and the future is so bright, as we said on air with Bunsey as well. What do you want from BOXXER?
I just want them to give me titles, really, any title. I mean, I've done Southern Area last year. I was meant to fight for English this year, but Corona came in the way. And my last opponent, or the one before this tournament, He was a middleweight English champion, and I believe I beat him easily. So I believe I'm above English level now. So
that was the draw against Zak Chelli,
yeah.
match for match room.
Yeah, I believe I'm levels above that now.
You wouldn't fight him again?
If it's for a British title, yes, of course, I love to fight him. I know he's fighting on Saturday against John Doherty, who's also a former Team GB teammate of mine. Whoever wins, I'll fight them. But of course, I want a title now. I've been too many fights without a title, so I want a title.
It must be exciting though, because like we were talking, guys, weren't we, about Shakan Pitters, who's obviously won a British title and came through BOXXER. Derek Asazi, we were hoping to see tonight. You know, these guys are on the ladder to that, and I just think that Ben and Baz would have been sat there thinking, you know, it would have been obviously, you know, great the story of Mike McGoldrick as well. But you being 22, and I keep banging on about your age, but just because there's so much mileage left on this clock of where they can take you, it's so exciting, Paul, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you've got a fighter who, again, I keep bringing up the love that he has for what he's doing. Nobody gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning and runs for an hour consistently.
No one has a dad like mine.
But it's you know, the fact that you can tell he's still doing it with that smile. I'm sure it's not easy to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm sure he's still doing it with that drive. You know, with that. Yes, his father pushes him. Yes, his father.
How much does he push? Tell us about your dad. Go on. How much does he push?
What time to sleep, when to eat, how to eat, what time to get home.
I love you've gone into your shell now because he's in the corner watching.
But here's the thing: when you're 22, not everybody will listen. The fact that he listens shows the discipline and the passion that he has for this.
When did that start? When you came out the womb?
Yeah, literally. But of course, now once I turned pro, as an amateur, it was a bit of a struggle to get me to do it. But then once I turned pro, I saw the potential I had and where I can go. And I wanted myself. I do wake up myself 4 o'clock in the morning. I push myself. My dad doesn't come with me on the runs. I go. Sometimes he does actually, but he doesn't come with me. And I push myself. I make sure I'm doing the runs hard because what's the point of waking up and not running? Exactly. So I push myself and prove today.
This is like a Rocky scene. I can see your dad driving behind you in the car. He's falling over.
When I was at primary school, my dad used to always come up with a bike, and I used to run home every day. My friends used to go, "Oh, goodbye, like this." Jog home.
It's good. It's a familiar story though. You know, every time you hear of a boxer that has a dad that is in their corner and pushes them to be as good as they can be, they end up being, you know, you look at the Mayweathers, you know, he had the same thing. You look at Kazagi.
I feel like this generation has that even more.
Yeah,
I feel like in the past they used to fight with their dads.
Yeah.
So like Roy Jones and guys like Sugar Shane Mosley broke off from it. But you know what? I feel like this generation is the father-son bonds are really working well. You know, you know, like Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia. You have the Porters.
Lopez.
You have the Lopez.
Yes, that's the big one.
Mayweather, obviously, we saw it was hot and cold, but nonetheless, family business the whole time. You know.
Yeah.
So.
See, I mean, you're 8-1 and then that one draw. Which was against Cody Davis, the Welshman. But you were at light heavy then. Would you go up to light heavy again?
I believe super middleweight is my weight. In fact, was on the day of that light heavyweight fight, I was actually 77 kilos, which was lighter than I weighed in for this fight. So yeah, I was a middleweight, and he looked like he was 86 kilos. Like he built up to a cruiserweight. Even though I did drop him round 2, it was. I do believe I won that fight, but he had Joe Kazagi in his corner, and you know, politics and boxing, so it goes that way.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll grow? You know, 22 years old. You're a big guy. You've got a big frame, and you're chiseled. Do you not feel like you'll have to grow into like heavy?
He pulled out from this fight.
His dad said he pulled out of this fight.
I heard Cody Davis pulled out from this fight. It was meant to be in it, but I heard he pulled out because he knows if it's 3 rounds, I would beat him. I dropped him on 2. But do I believe I'll get bigger? Actually, there's a video of me sparring George Groves, and after George Groves, my dad asked him to say something, and he says, he's going to be a future he's going to be a future light heavyweight champion. He didn't want to say super middleweight.
He was probably super middleweight.
But I mean, you know, obviously BOXXER are kind of new to the promotion side of things. Have you had chats with people like Shakan and Derek and so on, and kind of what they're doing? You know.
I spoke to Shakan. Yeah, he was on actually the same fight as me on the other card of the Cody Davis fight with me. And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think he believed he beat Derek Spellman on that night as well.
Yeah.
For the English title. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, they're all really nice guys. The BOXXER are pretty nice people. Just in the ring.
But it is a great platform because look, you didn't need to be here tonight, did you? That's the whole point of the thing, reminding everyone that you didn't need to come through this route. It was a risk in that sense, and maybe not in your head because you were so confident of winning it, but it was a risk you didn't need to take. You would have got a title fight. You didn't have to come here. Yeah, true. I could have got a title fight. Didn't need this, but the opportunity came first. Actually, after my last fight, Eddie Hearn did message me, and he said, "Zak, listen, I believe you won. I would like to give you a rematch in November or a different fight." I said, "Thank you very much." But then the next week, BOXXER called me and I was like, "You know what? First come, first serve." Wow. I think you were about to say Eddie Hearn wanted to sign you. There's the choice. BOXXER, Eddie Hearn. Where do you go with that one? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I just think, he's got everything. You know, when you build a boxer, and we had this feature over the summer when we did one with you, Paulie, as well. When you're building your ideal boxer, if you're building someone at this sort of age, he's got all the attributes.
Yeah. And you know what? Even more than anything, I think a lot of fighters have talent. A lot of fighters are just, you know, and just have natural athletic stuff that they're able to just get in the ring and kind of make things happen. But the ones that want to outwork you as well as having more talent, I think that's when you really start to see, you know, when they push on and go towards, you know, European and world level. I feel like being better than someone's good, but it doesn't always win you the fight.
Yeah.
When you're better than someone and you outwork them and you want to outdog them and do all of that, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's
and that's what's great tonight, Paulie, is he's done that live on ITV4 and BT Sport. The world was watching. Twitter's gone absolutely
There comes a time in your career, even if you have world-class skills, where you're going to fight fighters that have world-class skills as well. So sometimes it comes down to that grit, that determination as well, because, you know, when you're at that world-class level, if you're good enough to reach world-class level, the difference between each other is that much.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of times, the grit comes into play as well as the skills. So it's good to see fighters have them both.
How difficult was it? Was it difficult at all fighting behind closed doors with no crowd? And could you hear Paulie and Buncey commentating what they were saying about you?
I couldn't hear anything.
No, because they were about 2 meters away from you.
I mean, I heard just murmurs in the background, but I was concentrating on my fight and she wanted that win. And it's true what you say. I know there's someone out there who trains just as hard as me, who wants it just as much as me. So that's why I got to train harder and want it more. Because I know someone else that he's probably younger than me.
And also continue to improve. It's the hard work, and you continue to improve. You know, I've seen through the years, I've seen so many kinds of people in the gyms. You know, you do see guys who just work so hard. But they don't get better. They just grit hard, work, and their whole mentality is work hard. But you've got to make sure you're not just working hard. You've got to make sure you're also working smart in that you're improving. Your skills are improving. You know, your fundamentals are improving. Your angles are improving. Your punches are improving. You know, the way you're throwing them, the accuracy, the way you're setting them up. There's so many levels to boxing. Working hard is the basic foundation. You have to work hard. But then also you have to make sure that you're seeing improvements in your style, in your boxing. Fight to fight, day to day in the gym, fight to fight, and that comes into play. That comes into play in reaching world class level.
Where are your weaknesses then? Where does your dad tell you that your weaknesses are? Can you give them away?
I work on them, so they disappear, and there's no weakness.
Good answer.
Are there not any areas that you're just like, that's you know, well, or do you know what kind of fighter do you look at and kind of not emulate their style, but you look at it and you really appreciate it?
I like looking at Muhammad and Mike Tyson. They're the best ones I look at. I mean,
so that's
more than 5 minutes on YouTube. They get more than 5 minutes.
I've got to study them well.
I thought he was going to say Calzaghe. His elbow was very overwhelming in some ways, you know, and he got the fast hands like him.
I just like how aggressive Mike Tyson, how he's always on there, and Muhammad Ali, how he stays cool sometimes. I want to be like that, but hopefully one day.
Man, that's a crazy merge because they're polar opposites, but when you put them together, you actually do get something.
There's no direct imitation, but you take a little bit of here, you take a little bit of what you like here, a little bit of what you like here, and you know, you kind of try to merge it into your own personal style. You know, in the end, that's what you wind up.
So what were you actually doing? You're not actually going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and train, are you? Is that a joke?
When I get a fight announcement, I'll start again.
Not this morning.
Okay.
You're not leaving here.
It's already late. You might still be up at 4 o'clock.
I've been sleeping at 10 o'clock every single day for the past 2 months just to wake up at 4 a.m.
Have you?
So yeah. Someone messaging my friends, I gotta go. I can't message anymore.
Which is easier during lockdown, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
well,
I mean,
yeah.
look, we have to sort of re-emphasise that as well. And we were saying it on the show, is that it's such a strange time to be a boxer because one, if you rewind 6 months, you didn't know who you fight next, where you fight next, even if you can leave the house and go training. You know, I mean, it's so difficult, and this isn't just a hobby. This is your livelihood. This is your life.
Actually, COVID's actually not realised helped me. I've had 3 fights in the past 3 months or 4 months.
Callum was in August, wasn't it?
Yeah, Callum was in August. So yeah, when I was with Frank Warren, on the other hand, this is the reason why I had to leave him. I only had 8 fights in 3 years with him.
Right.
He was not putting me out. I don't know why. 4 years. 4 years with him.
4 years. Why was he not prior to that?
First contract when he's 18 years old.
Yeah, I signed when I was 18, until age of 21, turning 22, no fights. So
why did he not see this fight? I don't understand.
I
This
don't know.
why Zak, you have just novice. He's still novice, strong, but novice because not many fights.
Not many fights. So
He's been destroyed by promotion because it's expensive. He signed contract, very, very good money. Oh, Zak, wait 2 days because to pay you. It's bankrupt. No money. He needs some money, good money to invest with boxing.
but that just really doesn't like the warranty now. So bad experiences. Keeps it to heart. But yeah, obviously if you let me out more, who knows, I'd probably be maybe somewhere further now, maybe have a title, maybe have the British title by now, but all comes in a good time, right? And maybe now's the right time for it.
How many fights do you want to have next year, COVID permitting?
I want as much as possible, you know. If I do get like a nice title, like a European or British title, you get like 3 fights here with them, and I'll be happy with that.
I mean, look, you've obviously mentioned the fight against Zak Chelli and other potential ones, but you're not going to get to call someone straight out after you've got out the ring. But there must be others in that super middles that take your fancy, that you think is the route
we
for
want
you.
to thank for sparring, Zak.
Oh,
We
yeah.
want to thank for sparring. You've been had very good speak.
BOXXER's been helping with sparring.
Very
But
good,
your
gentlemen.
question for
You should have got your dad in mind.
well, the question about who I want to fight. One of our opponents who I beat, his name was Umar Sadiq.
Yeah.
He recently went up to Russia for the WBA Globe title, which is the second best before WBA, and he just lost in the 11th round with his name Chudinov. I love to fight him. I love to fight him for the title.
Who, Chudinov?
Yeah.
Good fight.
Chudinov, the one that fought Groves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, wow.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's
the
2.
brothers,
yeah.
So Chudinov for a title.
Yeah, because he's got WBA. I actually was offered that fight after my fight with Zak Chelli, but because my eye was swollen, I didn't take it. But now I'm ready, so I'll
Are
take
you
it.
in those rankings?
Yeah, I'm able to fight him. The guy who I beat just fought him. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Like just stylistically, because Chudinov has a kind of search and destroy kind of style, and you've got the same, but with like a much better jab. And yeah, I think that would just gel immediately. Like that would be amazing.
Well, I mean, the great thing now is that, you know, hopefully those fights, and obviously further down the line, that they're on a BOXXER card, you know. And what have you? I mean, did you watch the first 6 boxers before this? And what do you make of the actual event and the night itself? It's so different.
I know. Yeah, when I saw it with the crowd, there's a lot more people happy, shouting, and I saw a lot of knockouts, which I love this type of show. And then I went on it, and it's a bit different. Obviously, it's more quiet, but it's still the knockout. So
the crowd encourages the knockouts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
I
that's the
believe so.
thing. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of going forward, how exciting is that going to be, Paulie, to have him, you know, potentially fight for titles with us, with the team all in front of him?
Excited for him. You know, I like to see young guys accomplishing their dreams in this sport. You know, it's one of the more fun things about being a broadcaster and transitioning to broadcasting is seeing the young guys, you know, grow and go up the ladder, climb the ladder, and then accomplish these big goals, these big dreams. You know, it's a feeling of emotion that is, you know, kind of hard to explain in words, but they'll know what I mean when they get to that level.
It's a warning to Ben, isn't it? Because like Warren didn't work out for him, so him and his dad are going to be there. Ben, you better get these fights.
Now he's here. Yeah, now he's here at BOXXER, and Ben's going to be under pressure. But you've had 2 fights tonight. It's late.
Yeah.
Probably got to do your run in the morning anyway. So we'll let you go. We'll release you. It's been a pleasure having you.
I look
And
forward to the next podcast.
Well done, champ.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Paulie.
Cheers, Zach.
Grazie mille.
Well done, mate.
There you go.